Hey everybody, I'm Steph.
I'm Michael.
Today we are talking about games we will not be streaming because there have just been so many.
That's right.
Well, mostly because Dale
And
came for a visit.
and they're not review copies.
Right. Dale came for a visit and basically I bought a whole bunch of games from him. So we've been playing them nonstop. And then
Yes.
um so I got a whole bunch of new Japanese games from James Nathan and a bunch of games from Dale. So we have stocked up on games that we have played and now will not stream.
Because some of them are three players. Some of them they're okay. Um, so when we tell them talk about them in this review, you can know whether they would be right up your alley or not for me.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and then you can give your opinions about all of them
Yep.
because that's what you do.
That's what I do.
You're the opinion girl, right?
Yep.
So,
Probably don't need to get into too much detail about them, but we will talk about them a little bit.
well, talk about sort of what the games do, right? So
Okay.
let's start off with a title that probably people know of, and it is Tragedy Looper from WizKids.
Yeah, this was obviously originally a Japanese game that turned into a published game in the United States. Now they're continuing the line. This is the newest release that's called New Tragedies. So there's a
New
whole bunch of
tragedies.
new uh, tragedies that happen. So if you are already a fan of the game, this one is coming out like really soon. So it will be available for purchase soon.
So, Heroic Logic says, I love the old Tragedy Looper. Well,
There you
if
go.
you love the old Tragedy Looper, somebody has already asked, is this just a redoing of the original Tragedy Looper? And the answer is no. It's the same rules, basically, I think, from what I remember. I
I'm
played it
pretty sure.
like, what, 9, 10 years ago? I think we looked.
I don't know. I played it a long
Um,
time ago though.
um, and, uh, and this one I read on the BGG, right?
Right.
That all of these are new. They were previously released in Japan, but they have never been released for the English market. So, if you love Tragedy Loopers, then New Tragedies is definitely for you. So, what you are doing is there are four locations, and you are trying to one. It's basically a one versus many game. One person is basically doing the movements of the bad guys. Actually, the storyteller can move all of everything, but he's trying to make the bad things happen. And everybody else at the table is trying to stop the bad things from happening if they can find out what's happening. So here's my problem. When we played with James and Susan, I couldn't get the bad things to happen even once. So, and that's it's supposed to be difficult to win for a new group, but I couldn't even get one bad thing to happen.
We also played just the intro game, so it could be
It could be better
way
with
different with all
yes.
of it. And
So
so
the first two tragedies have a really basic rule set, and the remaining 11 tragedies have a much fuller rule set where any of the things that can be available are sort of on the list for you to choose from. So, Heroic Logic said, in my experience, people either love Tragedy Looper or really don't like it. Unfortunately, I was one that I went in optimistic, but it it just did not work. I really want a good time travel board game, and I have not found one yet.
yeah,
So that is Tragedy Looper, New Tragedies.
cool.
Unfortunately, that was a new tragedy for me.
Well, I think it just fine, and I would play it again. So
But
it ruined my experience.
yeah, there. I think Heroic Logic is right. You either love it or you really don't like it. Because there are a lot of people who are like, "Oh yes, Tragedy Looper." So that's why we bring you these videos to let you know, hey, something's coming and we've played it. So let's talk a little bit about Can Coming.
This is one of the Japanese games that James Nathan provided. Uh, one of the many, and yeah, it's a simple card game. Thankfully, he put down paste ups for us, so we know what the cards say.
Yep.
Um,
So basically, we've got uh, which one is this? This one is the one. Is this the one where you got the two? You got the two can? No,
no,
that's
there's
different.
cards that you can play cards to either side of you, and you're trying to get like a run of the
Oh
numbers or
yeah.
the same color of numbers or whatever. But every time you play a card, you get to like perform the action on it, and so you're just trying to manipulate the cards to be in your favor. It's a very simple card game.
Yeah, I think there was a card in a card next to you, or between me and you, a card between me and James. Eh,
Dale.
Oh, it was Dale. That's right. Me and Dale, and my card basically have three cards to where it's like a 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, things like all the same color, things like that. So
Yep.
anyway, it's fine. There's nothing bad about it, but it's not very deep. It's a 10-minute game, plays 2 to 5 players.
I don't think it played too very well.
Um,
It does. My
yeah,
opinion, it would need more.
I think it will. Oh, 2 to 6 players. I think with more players, it would definitely be better. The things in the cans sort of weird. I believe one of them was owl mushroom. One of them is peacock fruit mix. One of them is sloth water. Um, yeah.
Yep. There you go.
There was something tuna. I can't remember what was that. Deer tuna or something. Anyway, can coming, and that is from Group SNE. All right, let's take a look at. Ooh, well, let's get this one since it's wanting to fall over. This is Maui from Next Move. Now we played this at BGG Spring, Fall, I believe, right?
Yep.
Um,
I
and
like the next move games just
yep,
fine, and this one is pretty good. I mean, you're laying beach
beach
towels down,
towels.
and you're trying to get them to line up basically, and it's pattern recognition, pattern building that you're trying to do. And yeah,
Yep.
it's very simple. It's light. It's relaxing. It's
Trying
fun.
to draft towels and match the colors of the towels because you're laying the towels down in batches of
Yep.
3, I think, and you're trying to get to the edge of the beach and the edge of the shore and things like that to try to maximize your points. But sometimes your colored towels are just not there. So we didn't get a review copy of it. It's an okay game. It's not bad. Um, I think I can't remember if it rated high enough to make my top 10 of November.
I
I
doubt
don't
it.
think so, but I'm
I think I gave it like a
fairly
7 out of 10. I mean, it's
yeah.
good.
It's good. It's
It's
just
not. It
it
doesn't get me excited,
doesn't get
but
me excited.
I would play it again.
Absolutely.
So
So, if anyone is super excited about Maui, before it leaves the house, maybe someone can request it. So, but unless someone requests it, we just got so many on the two stream couch that we are not probably not going to stream Maui. Just for those who want to know, 2 to 4 players, 30 minutes.
yep.
All right. How about Serial Killer,
Second edition.
second edition? Um,
Honestly, this takes a whole bunch of people,
yeah, you need
so
the
we're
more
not
the
streaming
better.
it for that reason.
Yeah, the more
Pretty
the
much.
better with all of these kind of games. It takes 10 to 30 minutes, plays 4 to 50 people. We played it with 4
You can just
and
deal all the cards to 49 of your closest friends and have a big game of serial killer.
so in Serial Killer, oh, this is from not Stronghold Games, but The Stronghold, which is weird. It's got this sort of logo on it down in the corner. Probably see this little
Yep.
red and white stronghold symbol. It is not Stronghold Games. It is
Right.
Stronghold. So in Serial Killer, you basically just say go, and then you're going to look at other people. And if I make some sort of face towards you, or wink, or smirk, or whatever, you're dead. And so after 5 seconds, after you basically, if you've been targeted and killed, you wait 5 seconds and then say, I've died. And then everyone votes on who they think that the serial killer is, and we continue on like that. Uh, some of the people have roles instead of just people. There's people as a role. Um, we used to play something like this in Girl Scouts, says
Oh,
Delphia.
Delphia, you went around killing people. See how it is.
Mayor of Canada is talking about a serial killer. Watch out, Cheerios. So,
So they changed their name to Tower Tactics Games. They're
oh,
based in Bangkok, Thailand.
got it. Oh, Heroic Logic says, I'm excited about visiting Maui again. Nice.
Yeah, I bet that's nice.
Yeah, nice. So, um, I got the serial killer role, and I just lightly brushed James's foot with mine as a clear sign that he had been gotten. And we were just sitting at the table looking at each other, and James says, I've been killed.
Yeah, he was a traitor for
And
sure.
I was indeed the traitor. And
For sure.
2 people voted for Steph, 2 people voted for Susan. No, I can't remember. 2 people voted for you, though. I know that. And you were innocent.
I voted for you.
You voted.
Obviously, it was you.
You always
Obviously,
playing footsies. That's you did playing footsies. You did.
you did.
Shelby says, "Of course you did, traitor."
Yep, that's what happened.
So that is serial killer. Plays a lot of people. Probably make a really good convention game. But there's
I
not.
always look guilty.
There's
I'm innocent.
You are innocent, but you always look guilty. Nah, your face is gonna freeze like that. So let's talk a little bit about Wicked and Wise.
It does say 2 to 6 players on the side of the box, but I just think it will be a better. It's a better partnership game with 4 players.
Yes, I can't even imagine playing it
With
two
I
players
can't imagine playing it
because
with
it takes
6.
away the the mouse roll, and all you have left are dragons. Anyway, it plays. It says 45 to 75 minutes. Um,
Probably true.
it probably anyway. This is from Weird Giraffe Games. So if you like trick taking games, you might enjoy Wicked and
I like this one. I liked it better than the rest of the group.
So, one person on each team is a dragon, and one person on each team is a mouse. The dragons play their cards for their numbers. The mice will play their cards for their powers, which might be able to feed cards into the dragon's hands, might be able to hold on to cards for the dragon's next hand, because the dragon has to use all of their cards, and then the mice get to feed cards to the dragon in between rounds, sometimes even during a round. There's also like a special deck that has wild cards and things like that. So anyway, um, it was okay. I was a mouse. Steph was a mouse. No, you were a dragon.
I was a mouse.
No, you were a mouse. We were mice for our respective partners, and so yep. And
It's different. It feels
it
different,
it
which
it
is good.
it is somewhat unique, but I don't think I need to have it. But yeah, like you say, it's not a bad game.
Yeah.
And if you like trick taking games with a little bit of a twist on it, you probably will enjoy Wicked and Wise. Oh, what else are we not going to stream?
So many.
So many games. Oh, this is definitely interesting. It is called Armadillo from Amigo. So, how many players is it? Plays 2 to 6 players, and it doesn't have a playtime on it, but it's pretty fast.
It's
So,
cute.
you've got cards from range in value from 1 to 20. You've got red dice, 2 red dice, 2 blue dice, and 2 yellow dice.
Yep.
The blue dice, if I'm not mistaken, have values of 1 through 3. The yellow dice are 4 through 6. The red dice are 7 through 9. If it is your turn, you get to choose the number and type of dice you want to roll, and you will roll those dice. And boom, you're going to come up with a number. It might even be more than 20. So, um, if you have a card, if anyone at the table has at least one card that matches that number, you can discard it. That's what you're trying to do, is to discard all your cards. If you don't have any cards that match, then you can either adjust the die roll for yourself by spending tokens, or if you can't or don't want to, you can take 1 token for free every time that you miss, even if it's whether it's your turn or not. The person whose turn it is, their responsibility is to choose and roll those dice. And that's pretty much the entirety of the game. It's
The
cute.
yeah, the interesting part is when it's your turn, what dice do you roll? Like trying to find that perfect mix of dice to get to roll a 20. That's what's interesting.
And trying to,
So,
I think I can get that with 2 reds and a blue
yep.
or whatever.
Yep.
Or you can get close enough. Um, you can spend 1 to 3 tokens on your turn to adjust the value up or down 3. Um, or you can spend 4 tokens to get rid of any card. I think that this game might suffer where if you've got a lot in the middle that are easy to hit, easier to hit, then
You'll probably do better.
you probably do better. If you got a bunch of outliers like 1s and 20s, then that may be a little more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I had 2 20s that first hand and I got demolished.
You got demolished.
So I was sitting there going for 20s. You had no red cards, so you weren't rolling high dice. Like, there's.
But you ended up winning -2 to -4.
Yeah, it's better the next few
Fewer is better.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cute. Worth trying.
Yep.
Hey, Bree!
Hi, Bree. Heroic Logic says, I know of so many board games, but I haven't heard of these. These you will not have heard of because they are a lot of Japanese and a lot of Essen and a lot of just really obscure games, which Steph found interesting enough that she's not played them until this month.
Exactly.
So that is Armadillo from Amigo.
Yeah.
I mean, the cards are at the backs. The backs look terrible, but the fronts are bright and colorful. So, and obviously the dice are chunky wood dice. Anyway, enough about Armadillo.
Next is from Spitzspiel.
Spitzspiel. It's Echt Spitz.
They're the ones who've done all of the like this size box roll and ride games. I don't know. There's a lot of games like this,
but this is this follows the standard roll and write sort of thing, except you're playing on both sides of the paper.
Yeah, the Ganshon Clever.
Yeah, but there's not any of the combo-tastic stuff that Ganshon Clever has.
No, so this one they're trying to be different where you have to punch the hole in the paper, which I didn't even do when I played. So
because you don't have to punch it, you can just
don't have
you can flip it.
You just have to know where it is on the other side. But in any case, the sheet's double sided, so you're kind of playing both sheets to pop bubbles and get
pop a bubble, cross it off, poke a hole in it, cross it off on the other side.
Yep, and so you're trying to make lines of X's to get bonus points, which you didn't even realize were 5 points.
I did. I didn't know they were 5. I thought they were points. I didn't know they were 5.
I was going for the lines, and
I didn't care.
You ended it. You're just like, I'm going for fruit, and I'm like, oh my god.
It's a fruit that you can collect. You don't get any bonuses for them other than points. First one to get a fruit scores the big number. Everyone else gets the small number. All these things have been done. If
It's
if
fine.
if you don't burst a bubble, you can't go to the other side
Which is
of the
fine.
paper, which is
If you're
fine.
going for the line,
You're
which
going
is
for the line.
what. So
So basically, you roll 4 dice. The person who rolled the dice chooses one of them. Um, everybody else chooses one, and then there are some that are left in the middle, and the roller can either keep those or re-roll them, and everyone can use one of those dice as well. These things have been done in Roll and Rights before. Hello, Black Sheep. So that is it's fine. It plays 1 to 4 players in 20 minutes.
what's this?
I don't know. What is Widerspielreiz? It rates 10 out of 10 for Widerspielreiz. Wider Widerspielreiz.
Hey, black sheep.
I'm gonna look.
Now we want to know.
Now we want to know. Google Translate. Translate from German.
Something like that.
I know what tactic is. All right. Glück. They say bliss. I don't think it's bliss. Easy entry is the third one. Replayability.
Oh, I would say it's not 3
Vita
out of 10
Spielreis. I don't think it's close to 10 out of 10.
because one, they want you to punch a hole through the paper. Therefore, it will end eventually. You will run out of sheets. Therefore, in my opinion, the replayability is finite if you play through all of your sheets.
Yes, completely. So, yeah. And it's harmless. We would play it, but
I would play it again, but it's not like, yeah, let's play. It's not that exciting. I'd rather play like Gosh on Clever.
Google Picture has that. Yeah, that I think I was using. I'm not sure if I'm using Google Picture or another translate app. Anyway, just take a picture and it translates it all for you. Anyway, it's super quick. If someone was dying to see it, we could show it, but otherwise, it's going in the not stream pile. Look at these super small, super fast ones. I mean, this looks glorious, doesn't it? Conquest. This is a little
I didn't hate it as much as Michael.
2-player 20-minute game. You are
Nobody's heard of this.
no, nobody's heard of this
Not one person.
because this is a Japanese game. Designer Katsumasa Tomioka. What is this from?
It's 2021. I know that much.
I don't even know the publisher. So there, you've got a cards in a checkerboard pattern, basically, and with basically if everything's in a checkerboard pattern, imagine if there were a bunch of cards on the black spaces on the checkerboard, right?
Yeah.
The cards are numbered from 1 to 20. I'm going to put this up here. The cards are numbered from 1 to 20. The black player starts on the 20 and the white player starts on the 1. Well, Steph plays white as a backup color, so I play black. Hello, Deadpan. And you will place one of your white chips in one of the spots around the 1 card. Okay, that's fine. If there's no other token there, which there isn't at the start, you just put your token there. If there is one of your own, it just adds to it. And if there's one of the opponent's chips, then your chip kills the other player's chip, and there's nothing there at that point. So, the black player starts off on 20, puts a chip next to the 20.
18.
Oh, is it? Oh, no, you're right. It is an 18. Puts a chip next to the 18. Then the white player is on the 2, and the black player is on the 17. Place a chip, move, place a chip, move, place a chip. Around the middle, 9, 10, the colors will cross, and then the white player will continue up the numbers, the black player will continue down the numbers, and then you figure out who has the majority of the cards on the board. Then, if that's where it stopped, that would be a basic okay abstract. Here's where it dies for me. And you're just smiling right now.
I didn't mind this part at all.
If one player wins 16, 17, and 18, they lose. If one player wins a 1, 2, or 1, 2, and 3, they win. Now, I managed to keep you out of the 1 spot, but here's the catch. If you win, if you have taken the majority of most of the cards, you will get the highest card that we have tied, basically breaking the tie. It's probably going to be an 18, 17, or 16.
Sure.
And if you are not, if you do not have the most on there, then you're going to get the lowest tied value, which is probably going to be a 1, 2, or 3. So although I managed to get myself out of the 18, 17, 16, I did not manage to keep Steph out of 2 of 1, 2, and 3. No, it's that part's bad. It's just broken bad. So yeah.
I liked it more than him. It's fine.
Well, it starts off not great because it's an abstract. But I was willing to play it.
All right.
Played it. Let's talk a little about Instant Saga.
I hated this one.
You're not even gonna let me talk about it. It's just gonna be, I hated it.
I did.
Plays 2 to 4 players in the short playtime of 10 minutes. Instant Saga. I don't even know who this is by. Who is this by? I have no idea. It is some Japanese game called Instant Saga.
Does it come?
Shelby says, "Tell us how you really feel, Steph."
Does it come in powder form?
I mean, if it works as you say, I'll buy a dozen.
First, you have to like draft cards, and so you're drafting these cards, and then you're like bidding for these locations. Well,
taking
not
over lands.
taking over the different lands using these cards that you just drafted. But they determine turn order by the strength of your ships or the amount of ships that you have.
Now the ships mean fast, anchors mean slow.
I just had all the anchors.
She got all of the.
I always had to play first, therefore he could just be like, "Yeah, I win. Yeah, I win."
I drafted the ships, and so I get to go second. She drafted the anchors and had to go first, so I could see what she was putting.
It's really bad.
Yeah, and
did not like Adelphia.
And that is Instant Saga.
Nobody needs to play it. Nobody's ever heard of it. No one needs to hear of it.
And this is what you get with these fantastic Japanese titles.
Not all of them.
It
was particularly bad. Not all of them are bad. This one, though, also, Stacks, not good.
Again, a fantastic Japanese title called Stacks. It plays 2 to 4 players in 15 minutes. So,
and then getting through the rules is another 30 minutes.
Yeah, because it doesn't make much sense.
The whole thing doesn't make any sense.
So there are 3 colors of cards, as you can see here. There's some cards that say next, some cards that say you.
You.
This card right here, you. So, and you don't have many cards to choose from. So, you play a card if you can. If you play a card that is the same color as a card that has just been played, you've got to take everything in the top row. And the card you played, I think, goes out in front of you as bad points. The other ones come into your hand. If they get stuck in your hand, they're negative points. And you just try to basically go out first
Not take points.
and not take points. As you can see from this red card here, the next card has to be blue. What if you don't have blue? Well, you're probably going to end up taking some cards. Plus, you can't play red or you're taking some cards. So, yeah. So,
I don't have
and if
anything to say
if
about
you
this.
don't have a card that fits, you play one blind off the top, and everyone loves that. Let me tell you. So it's an Uno looking game. Oh, here is on the description on BGG. It was like, how can you not like a game that scores in half points? Look at the 0.5 over here. 0.5.
Hashtag no round up.
Hashtag no round up. That's the description on BGG.
That's so funny.
So there was the Foob and Colorfly were streaming the other night, and I was going, public service announcement: do not play blank, whatever the game was at the time. And I did this several times on their stream, typing in public service announcement. And
There's been several games
anyway,
that we have that announcement for.
yeah. Now remember when I normally say the games that we will not play on stream are not all bad games. This episode came really quickly if you know when part 3 came out of this episode, because we have just played a lot of not great games. Okay, this game is called
Drone B.
Thank you, Dronbee. Dronbee.
This was fine.
This was okay. It was
You're basically
it was a
drafting cards and adding them to your tableau of cards. And
there's the cards that you will draft it's basically in a circle of 13 cards.
yeah, and if you take minions and they match the value of some of your treasure cards, basically the minion steals all the treasures and they run away.
So you're gonna be playing your character that you have for that round. If you're trying 2 players, you have 2 of them. The earlier you go, the lower number of cards you're gonna take from this little circular area. Uh, Obviously, if you take 1, you can take any one you want. If you take 2 or 3 or more, you have to take cards that are next to each other. When you take those cards out, all the cards shift to where they are all the ones on the either end are now next to each other. You put cards in rows. If you take gold cards, that's good, but they have to be guarded by a minion. But if a minion is directly the same number as the set, it's going to steal. If you have a minion and another minion, one minion knocks out the other minion. They call it that you redeem the minion, but you basically just score the minion. But they use the term redeem instead of score, and I'm like,
yeah.
What do you mean redeemed?
Yeah.
Again, it's another painful rule set to get through. You've also got when you play your Dronbee guy, then you get to get one of the ones that was not chosen in the previous round, or one that, like if Steph is already gone, one that Steph has already played. The ones that don't get played get a little gold cube on it, and if you take one of those, then that increases the
cubes.
your points that you're going to get at the end of the game for those. So anyway, it was okay. It's got a little bit of drafting.
Yes, bloody, exactly.
Not terribly good rules, very badly translated, are always fun. So yeah, this is Dronbee.
Yep.
It plays 2 to 4 players in approximately 20 minutes. You basically go through, I don't know how it would be 20 minutes with 4 players playing 5 rounds. 2 players was 3 rounds, and that was already going to be 20 minutes.
Pushing
so,
it.
yeah. Don't even know the publisher, but it's that same, it may be the same publisher as the other one because it's got this little Oculus looking circle. So, that. Whoa. It's under you.
See?
I get it. All right. All right. This is Formosa Flowers.
Wanna like it.
All right.
It's
So
so pretty. It's
the
pretty.
the first thing I will point out is how beautiful this is. Look how beautiful this game will look on your shelf.
It's like trying so games in
Yeah,
general, but
that's the other
they're
thing I want to point out.
they're always, as their name expresses, very so.
They're all so.
Bree says, "I have this game."
Bree's laughing. All of So games, they
I
are.
haven't played many of them. I've played a lot of them.
And all the ones I've played, I even, when we got this, I'm like, look, Steph, this is a so game.
Oh, I
She's
don't
like,
know.
stop. Bree says she bought it at Essen. A lot of these are Essen releases that we've picked up
From Dale.
from
And
Dale
James
and James Nason.
has them.
So,
But yeah, so this game would be fine if you weren't just eliminated immediately as somebody scores.
uh, yeah.
It's basically if Michael says I'm scoring, I don't have a chance to score, and I'm
Okay,
done.
so
I hate that.
okay, so when this plays with more players, it's not immediate. When you score, you're out, which is fine, but then the other players can play to go out, except the last player. The last player can't. Uh, the last player can't score any points in a two-player game. One of you scores, one of you don't. So the cool thing about this game is so you're basically you play a card, and if you have a card that matches in the tableau, you pick them both up, and then you play one blind off the top of the deck, and if that matches, then you get both of those cards. If you have 15 points worth of cards in front of you, you can say, and I'm out. Or you can, if you've got 15 points and you want to push your luck, if the next person, if all the rest of the people go out, you're screwed. But if somebody doesn't go out, then you have just doubled your points, and you can double it again if you can push your luck one more round. Blah blah blah. It's probably much better at 4. It's
But even still,
just broken at
somebody
2.
is going to not score.
He's gonna not score.
It's not.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Mechanics that people just really love these days is playing and getting 0 out of it.
No.
So yeah,
Bree, once you play it, tell us how you like it.
absolutely.
I'm curious. I'm sure some people
And play it with a lot of people.
I'm sure some people like it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for me, it was a myth.
So at 4, if it at 4, it's got to be good because at 2 players it was a miss in order to get that average of so. That's Foremost of Flowers.
Yep.
Come on, that was good. You don't like that? That was a good one. Let's talk a little bit about 8-bit mock-up. It plays 2 to 5 players in 15 minutes.
People actually know this one.
Yeah, and this is from I don't know.
This is called Legendary Forests. That was reprinted
Oh yeah.
later on from Yellow Games, which I'm sure most people, if they've heard of this game, it's because of Legendary Forests. But it's the same one.
Oh, Crappy Games LLC. Are you kidding? Is this Crappy Games?
I actually like this game. I actually really like this game. I've owned Legendary Forest for some time, and then
Oh, she made it up. You got us, Bree.
I didn't get me. I know what she was saying.
I don't know.
This is not a crappy game. This is a game I actually like. There's one person that draws a tile. Everybody else finds that tile and plays it.
City style, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
So that part's not bad. It's an okay game. There's nothing wrong with it. Basically, you are if certain tiles come up, you can place one of your little scoring chits in there, and it's going to score for whatever area. It's going to score 1 point per spot if it's closed in, 2 points per spot if it is closed in. So you're trying to close them all in. And yeah, Bree says that mechanism sounds familiar. Yeah, because it's Legendary Forests. So
Well,
you said, did you stream this? Well, no, because this is games we will not be streaming.
that's
We
what we're
probably
talking.
streamed Legendary Forest though.
No,
No, we didn't.
we started streaming way after that.
Oh, that's why.
So
That's
no,
why we didn't do it.
they have not.
So
This is fine.
it's fine, but we don't feel like we have to stream it. If you guys desperately want to see any of these, either of us could probably veto it. But hey, maybe we'll take it off our games. We will not stream if enough people want to see it played. Moving down to the last 4 games in our list. Oh, you have 8 games. The last 8 games in our list. Conejos en el Huerto. Bunnies in the field.
He's so cute though.
They, these guys are so cute, and the dog is trying to harass the poor bunnies who are just trying to take the little vegetables.
I know.
Bree says, "OMG, the bunny!" They are so look how cute these little dudes are. I mean, they so cute. Anyway, in this game, you've got this little round track, right? And everyone's got their stuff behind their shields. Each of the spots on the board has a little number from 1 to 5, and you've got a pair of bunnies, as you can see. So, if you on your turn you are going to move. Let's say you're the blue bunnies, and your bunnies are on the 1 and the 3. One of your bunnies has to move 4 spaces, and then you will take whatever vegetable is on that space. Well, when those vegetables run out, vegetables that used to be worth 2 or 3 are now worth 1 or nothing if they run all the way out. And there are 5 different vegetables. If you pair up bunnies, then you're going to get 3 of the vegetable on that space. It's fine. I randomly dealt out some 2s that were exactly 4 spaces away from each other. And my bunnies started on the 2s. And I went 4 spaces away, and 4 spaces away, and 4 spaces away, and 4 spaces away, hopping back and forth on these 3 veggies. And they were worth just enough so that when we ended the game, I had quite a bit. I did shift off of those near the end of the game because I didn't want them to totally be worth 1 or nothing. So I started picking up other things, but I did end up breaking it a little bit just because those numbers were perfectly evenly spaced.
Yeah, I mean,
So
he doubled my score that game.
yeah,
So, blah.
little broken. Fishy Fishy says, real question. Why have games that you would never stream? Does that kind of mean you would never play ever? No, we played all of these games. But a lot of times they're games that can be played only once, like an adventure game. Sometimes they're 3-player games that we can't play on stream because we are a 2-person streaming group. And sometimes they're okay, but not
We
great.
just have other things
we have
rather
a ton of other things to show you guys. But we want to show you guys these games because this might be your jam. Look at this bunny. And if you land on a dog, he basically chases you away to the next spot. There's some cute little mechanisms, but neither of us encountered the dog, not even once. So it's fine.
It was cute.
It's cute.
If you can find a combo that just keeps going back and forth, collecting a whole bunch of veggies, then yeah, you'll do well.
Yep. Limited time and space, can't stream everything, says Time Roller.
It's true.
Ain't that the truth? And when Steph plays 570 new games a year, yeah, you can't stream them all.
I'm already at 83 new games this year. And we're in the middle of February. Not even middle. It's like still early February.
Yeah, you're at what?
83.
You're at 83. I am.
For the year.
I gotta look.
A lot. That is a lot of new games for.
Because
yes.
I was close to you last month. I was somewhat close last month. I was like 4 short of yours last month. You're at 50 this month? I'm at 33 this month.
Yeah, but I'm at 83 altogether for the year. For the year. What are you at?
84.
I don't know how. I don't trust those stats.
No, so as of this year, you taught me how to remove it from BG Stats
I know.
if I had already played it. And so I've done that already on some things. Yeah, that's 2.13 new games per day. That's right.
Oh, sorry, I'm at 90.
You're at 90? Yeah, I'm at
That makes a little bit more sense.
that makes a little bit more sense. I'm at 80.
Play a lot of games recently.
I'm at 84. Well, it also helps when so we specifically Dale came right
Yeah.
this past weekend,
Yeah.
and we have gotten all of the 20-minute games. We fished them all out, and we just played them late nights. Just hit a bunch of them.
Yep.
And so yeah, that's why we've already got 30 new games, and we're what 9 days in the year? Yeah. 30 new games this month already. Hello, Colorfly, or should I say Roomy?
Hey, Colorfly, welcome in. You're finally home. Yay. Okay, to be fair, we did not play this.
To be fair,
This is one that we did not play
this,
and that we will not play.
yeah, because
Seems interesting.
it's just
Japanese
these
games.
are just bad though, and I mean, look how fantastic this looks. Everyone wants to play this, right? This is called what? Peta Peta.
Peta Peta.
Peta Peta.
It uses stickers.
It uses stickers to make art.
Yeah, so we can see some of James Nathan's art here because they played a few games of it, and so they put these stickers on little spaces.
Oh, Steph, I thought this was the board.
No, this is the board.
That makes more sense now.
Yeah, you have to put the stickers in the spaces.
Well,
You're gonna put them on your forehead. I'm like, no, you're not gonna put them on your forehead. You're gonna put them on the spaces in the circle. So this is James Nathan.
the rules made no sense. The rules to me made no sense. It's like you stick stickers on, and if some of them are yours and some of them are not, and did you get the most in the spot? Yay, you get 7 points. But they're saying that this is art.
You're making art. We're making art.
No, you're trying to fit the things in the spaces.
Circles, yes.
That's it. No.
Michael's like, I'm not playing this game, but it just all right.
They are the most basic of basic stickers.
Yeah, but like
You said but like.
don't want to play it. It's fine.
That is Caterpillar.
Don't need to play every game.
I mean, you can play it if you want. I don't want to play it. It's like, oh, and you go around a rondelle, right?
Yeah.
You move either 1 or 2 spaces.
Jumping over.
And you put the stuff that you land in, you got to put those stickers on the on whatever space you want. There's another abstract game. It's just
a lot of those.
It's just another abstract.
Heroic says if only it had a hidden trader mechanic.
If only it had no, you know what the hidden trader will go out and burn this game.
No.
Because
no.
And that's why no one's played it before, because
no.
Let's talk a little bit about All Roads. This was an Essen release from Lotta Pellet.
We just played this today.
We just played it today. It plays 2 to 4 players. It says 40 minutes. It was much faster than 40 minutes.
I guess maybe with 4 players, but even still.
So, as everyone knows, all roads lead to Rome, right? So.
It's not the road I live on.
I don't know where this game will lead. This game, leads to Rome. So basically, you're going to be putting down these tiles. Look how fuzzy it looks whenever it's on a green.
It's green.
So you're going to be putting down these tiles. The roads that you place must lead to Rome. If you make a dead end that leads into the side of another hex, then you get to put one of your houses. If you enclose the area, you upgrade the house to a villa. Unless it's got one of those little ponds around it, which are hot springs, then you make a spa. If you never close off the area, those places will just stay houses. If you enclose an area that has no dead ends, then you will put one of your monuments. So you're going to get 4 points for monuments, 3 points for spas, 2 points for villas, 1 point for houses, and you play your 8 tiles and you're done. And that's pretty much the game.
Yeah.
Or 12 tiles, or however many tiles there
I
are
mean, it's
per player.
it's an okay
It's
playing game.
This is an okay abstract.
It feels like this is a game that came out like in 1992.
Yes,
Like
really does.
there's not much going on. I feel like we can do better these days.
Yeah, it's not bad. There's just nothing that makes me want to go out and play this again.
This is something I'm gonna be like, what was that game we played 10 years ago with the tiles and the thing? No, I'm not gonna remember the name
So
of all roads.
I want to block some. If Steph is hoping to close this place off, I'm going to put something in there like this to block it with just a road, just like going off in the middle of nowhere. And it's going to, I mean, that's never going to close off, and she's going to be mad. And in a 2-player game, I'm going to try to cut her off at every possibility.
Tom Muller says it sounds like a complicated Carcassonne. It's not even that complicated.
No, it's matter of fact, it's fairly simple.
You definitely get more choices in Carcassonne.
Yeah, there's not much choice here.
So,
Your
yeah.
choice is where you put the tile and whether you enclose the area or not. That's pretty much it. That is all roads from Lotta Pellet.
Yeah.
Here we have Time of Empires. It plays 2 to 4 players, and it says the box time is 60 minutes. Now, this comes with
Probably heard of this
an
one.
app. This one I think is fairly decent. You've got 2 hourglasses, and if you want to take an action, you put an hourglass on that action and do whatever that action does. You can put troops in a capital or in one of your cities or a place that you control. You can build buildings. You can generate light bulbs, which is ideas, or bricks. You can activate card effects. I think one side will get you will let you play the card and do the action on it. The other action on the card, which you'll get to do both, will let you place a building. There is some area majority stuff going on with the tiles and with the leaders and with the wonders that get built. Here's the catch. It all happens in real time. So basically,
like pendulum, where you take an action with your timer. The timer's going while you like take that action.
And you have 2 timers in Pendulum too, I think.
Yeah.
So it's similar to that.
It is actually kind of similar to that, but this is a whole area control mechanic now. So you're trying to like take over the map by doing actions. You're trying to build buildings with your actions. You're trying to gather resource with your actions. So yeah, it's similar in that you have to wait till the timer's out, and then you're like, okay, now we got to go over here. So while you're waiting for your timer, you're like, okay, what do I really want to accomplish?
Meanwhile, while you're focusing on that timer, they're killing off your units on the board. Basically, one kills one, and all of a sudden you'll see your units flop in front of you,
Yeah,
and
you're
you're
like,
like, what just died? And then so you go look at the battlefield report. Oh yeah, I don't have any guys in Steph's area anymore. So I basically turtled most of the game. I'd lash out when I could. Dale attacked Steph. Steph attacked Dale.
Stop, and it's just a waste of time. And I should have just done it at the end.
Yep. So
But
I,
yeah.
I like that it's real time, but
Also,
the
if you
fact that there's a map, I think the combat's a little bit chaotic for me.
it is. Also, there's an app that you use, and if you put in the wrong number, you do something wrong. It just doesn't. You can't like fix it. So I felt that was a big problem because we didn't actually get Dale's score because something
No,
happened.
no, you can go back
Okay.
until you get to a certain point. And then it said, "Hey, here's your scores." The app said N, little a, big N, which in programming language, that number's not
It's not
it's
valid
not
or whatever.
available.
Yeah.
That's not valid. So
Dale got an invalid
Tyrola
score.
said, "That's not good."
So we don't know what Dale got because
we
you don't do it on the side. You do it in the
you
app
do
as
the
as you play.
you're like, how many points did you get from destroyed units?
Uh,
And so we did that. That was fine. Yes, Splutty says not a number.
yeah, exactly.
That's
He
that's what NAN stands for.
he got
Not a number.
he got A.
Thank you, Splutty. Splutty, the programmer in the field.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, it's not a bad game. I like what they're doing. I like what they're doing here, but I think a few things just miss, and I don't think this would be very good with two players because of all the area control. So, if we had 3 or 4 people here, we might stream it, but A, it's probably not good 2 players. B, uh, it's not a review game. So, Time of Empires from Pearl Games not gonna make it to the stream.
Yep. It is definitely interesting to try.
And big chunky pieces.
Yeah, it's a big box.
Yeah.
All right, I got some more.
Time Roller says I like real time games,
Here.
but my group disliked. So, Splitty said so it could be a personal game, not a stream game. Yep, could absolutely. All right, put these over here. Whoops, I'll let you do that.
I have to go down and get the rest.
You got 3 more, huh? What?
4.
Oh, I thought you had 3 more. How about 4 more?
Here. Stuck
Yes,
with
that's
this.
true, Splutty. Oh, we've got Reflecto.
Somebody added this to the 100.
Nice. Well, we played it,
We played it.
and that'll be the only 2 plays we have of it. Unfortunately, because so Reflecto, it is a 2 play, just 2 player, yeah, 2 player game with a playtime of 20 minutes. So
Is it infamous already?
the why is it infamous?
Yeah. What do you know about this?
Pendulum is a favorite of Time Rollers. Yeah, Pendulum was not bad.
Then you should really check out Time of Empires.
Yeah, for sure. In Reflecto, you've got this, standard, checkerboard, chessboard looking display, and you've got these. I guess they're like tiles like Lord of the Rings: The Confrontation, where you can see the thing, or Stratego, you can see your piece, somebody else can't see your piece. Um, you are going to write that you've got 7 tiles. 2 of them are mirrors. 5 of them are where you're going to write 5 letters. So if you want the example in the rule book is piano. So you are trying to get your letters to the other side of the board, but you're trying to get them there in order, preferably, because if you have the second or third letter in your word make it to the end, they have to sit there until your first letter comes in. Now, all the while, you're trying to move those mirrors into position so that you can look at your opponent's tiles. And while this sounds good in theory, I didn't even care about looking at Steph's tiles because I just wanted to get all of my tiles to the other end before she saw any of them. These pieces can jump each other like checkers. They just go jump, 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 jump all the way to the end. And I found a way to.
I get no chance to even look at his letters.
So I made a 5-letter. So here's the thing: you could spend an action saying, "Is your word blank?" And if you don't guess it, I can't remember if that was your turn or if you just lost.
Oh,
No, no, you did guess.
guess.
You
I
did
mean,
guess.
I had to try. I
So
knew two of your letters.
so she did know two of my letters. I made sure to get the first one in quick enough, and then my other four letters, it could have been any number of words. You got a bunch of rhyming words with that, um, in order to sort of obfuscate what your word is. If you can get that first one in, maybe the second one in, then there's very little chance. Which letters did you know of mine?
SE at the end.
The S and the
I mean, it
E.
could be literally anything.
Something,
Like,
something, something, ES. And so she said, "Is it games?"
yeah, well, that was. I'm like, he's used games before in other 5-letter
Um,
things, so
yeah. And my third letter was M.
yeah,
It was, I think it was limes.
yeah, that was your word in the end. I'm like, there's
So,
no way I would have gotten limes.
but it could be times, could be mimes. Uh, it any all sorts of different. It could be dimes. Um, trying to obfuscate what the word is, but I didn't care what her word was. I got my L across, then I got my I across like really quickly. And so that's why you did manage to pick up a couple. I left my mirrors where they were. I didn't care.
Yeah, and you know what? That to me breaks the game. Obviously, it's not designed to do that. It's designed for people to try and see other letters. But obviously, the
No,
rule said
you play to win the game. You win
I
the game by getting your legs
I
across.
played to find out what the word was. Anyway, that's that.
And
And
if that's what the purpose was, they should have made it so
your letters don't go off the
your
board.
letters can't leave.
Ah!
Yeah.
So
Just she's so frustrated with this. This Reflecto is from Mandu Games. Hey, I mean, if you enjoy,
it's Wordle mixed with Princess Jing.
I guess so. So anyway, that was not the only.
I'm glad I tried it, but yeah, they had some issues.
Yeah, and that was not the only game that uses this checkers sort of mechanic where you can move one space anywhere, or you could jump anybody's pieces, your
Yeah.
own, somebody else's, etc. Well, hey, we've got another one that does just almost exactly the same thing called Ovo from Gigamic. So, in Ovo, it's a 2 or 4 player game and plays in about 20 minutes. Like you said, like you have heard, we played a bunch of really small ones, and I was like, you know what? We better do another episode, or we're going to sell all these, and you're not going to get to see them. So you reluctantly agreed. Um, in Ovo, you've got these egg-shaped pieces.
The eggs are super cool.
The eggs are indeed super cool. I had the blue squares on the bottom of mine. Steph had the yellow asterisks. So this game was indeed an asterisk game because Steph was an asterisk. If you're playing 4 players, then they're going to be set up like so. Otherwise, they're going to just be set up 8 across. You're going to start the eggs off with their tails in the air so you can see what they belong to. When they are in this position, only you can move your pieces. So you move them along just one space at a time, or you can jump any of the everybody else's pieces. But you're not trying to get them off the other side of the board. You're trying to get them to the end, basically tagging any other player's start zone, within the case of a 4 player, the other side of the board on a 2 player, and then your egg flips over. Now no one can see what it is, and now anybody can move it. So you're trying to get all 6 of your pieces flipped and all 6 of your pieces back home. You can skip your turn to look at the bottom of one of the pieces in case you think you've messed up. But when you get all your pieces in, you can say, eggs are done, and then you'll look. If even one of them is not yours, you have lost. Guess what happened?
It's really, really easy to get mixed up.
I was like,
It's easy. I can do
so,
this. Like I'm like, okay, this. I'm like, and then
so,
almost all of them are flipped at one point, and I'm like,
yes.
I
So
don't
I
know.
knew where my six were. I had
No.
I had four. I had three of them up close, three of them back. I moved a fourth one back super quickly. I moved a fifth one back, and then Steph, I took my attention off the board for a second. I
You
looked
can't
back.
do it.
I looked back, and I said, "You moved one of my
No,
eggs."
you moved
And she
eggs
said,
first.
"No, you moved one of mine," but I think I was right. I had no idea where my egg went. I had zero idea.
It's definitely memory.
So I got back a sixth egg at the same time Steph got. I was ahead for quite a while, but then when I lost track of that egg, I was stuck moving one of Steph's eggs back to my home. She got her sixth egg back, and I said, "You feel confident?" And she moved the piece back. Instead of me calling it, I looked at the bottom of one and put it back down, and it was Steph's egg.
No.
It was indeed Steph's egg.
Why didn't you
And
move it backwards to me?
I looked at it. That's my entire turn.
I know, but
And then you said eggs are done, and you flipped them, and you were wrong. And then I went
just
bloop, and I showed you.
at that point it's not. There's no real reason for me to start looking at eggs because you would still win no matter what.
Well, not exactly.
Yeah. So
I
it's
mean,
just better to.
you'd have to go fishing for that egg. I'd have to go fishing for the
It's
egg.
just better that way.
So anyway, this was quite a bit better than Reflecto, but there's not much to it either. The fun part,
Into
if you're
abstract
into
games, I
abstracts,
think this
this
is really
is
fun because it's different. It's
I
like, okay, I'm like, I got this. No, I don't got this. I don't.
one of my eggs. No, you. That was so
Can't
funny.
remember.
And I was like, when she grabbed it and I looked back, it's like
Yeah,
I had five eggs down here and now I have four eggs down here.
yeah.
Because my last egg was still on the other side of the board. Five of them were one or two were in the space or one space away, and they were all like right around here. I was ready to just
It's
move them
your
in
fault.
one at
You
a
should have
time,
moved it
and
in.
you dragged one away, and I'm like,
Where'd it go? You gotta pay attention.
I could not, I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
So
it's interesting.
it is interesting. That's Ovo from Gigamic. This is a game that we played at BGG Fall called Planet V, and it is from Hans im Glück. Plays 2 to 4 players in approximately. It says 30 to 45
No
minutes.
way
There's
is
no
it.
way.
There's
No.
maybe 2 to 3 hours. It
The
was
difficulty
long.
level, the Schwer, is super red. Supposedly, I would probably say yellow. Yellow difficulty.
Yeah.
You think?
Middle, yeah.
Middle.
Sure.
This game comes with
There's no way that this 30 minutes.
paperish plastic money
Yeah.
that you rip out of this little coupon booklet thing as you need it, or you pre-punch it,
Yeah.
pre-tear it. But it's like on one of those little memo pads that you rip off the memo pad. Well, you're ripping off the money as you play. It's been a hot minute since we played this, but basically you're going around taking actions to get money, or you are storing away the money as they turn into gold money because you turn it over and it's different on the other side. That's money you've socked away in your pocket. So you're basically improving yourself and getting action, doing actions and whatnot, and it It was okay.
The interesting part is trying to get votes in the bag, and then
Hmm.
how the votes are revealed and such. But yeah, Time Roller's
That
right.
was super
It
interesting.
probably is a red for Hansum Gluck.
Mm, probably, yeah.
Not in general, but just in their lineup of games. It's not as easy as like Carcassonne. So,
Oh yeah, for sure. What else is Hans im Gluck? Stone Age, and I
Did they do Marco Polo?
maybe. Where's your Marco Polo? It's
It
up
says
there
Z
somewhere.
Man, so probably. I don't know, but
Anyway,
yeah, for their lineup of games.
it's not bad. But it goes super long, and the like you said, I think the votes is the interesting thing. I think they thought they were doing something interesting with the flip this over and tuck it under, and that's going to be your stashed money, and you're trying to get 250 stashed money or something like that to trigger the game end.
No, it has to do with the tiles that are up here that are
I
flipped and
distinctly
used.
remember
No, it's we had to go through the stacks of tiles.
having
I
to get.
remember that.
Got it. Okay, well, anyway,
But with
you,
two players,
you upgrade your board and everything, and with your I don't know diplomacy and whatever, and
it's combo building too. So you're trying to build these things and get cool combos and such. I liked it.
it's okay. But not a review copy. Not gonna stream it. Just not worth the 2 or 3 hours getting through it when we know that it was just an okay game. So yep, that is Planet B. We've got one more for you. And this is actually sort of cute. Steph hated it.
I didn't hate it.
You didn't hate
I
it?
don't.
This is cute, but I don't think it's a keeper. It's called Tiny Turbo Cars. Now, to be fair, to be fair, Steph does not care for race games.
I don't.
I enjoy race games. This was originally done. I don't know if it was originally done by Horrible Kill. It's distributed by Luma Imports. Um, Plays 2 to 4 players. It says 40 minutes. I don't think it takes that long. Not with 2 players anyway.
Yeah, with a lot of people, it would take longer.
Right. So basically, you are playing with these little battery controlled cars, trying to go down this hallway. Basically, it's just room after room after room after room. Nobody's house is laid out like this, but whatever. It makes it interesting. It's just one big long hallway,
Sure.
with obstacles in the way. A random toothbrush sitting around, just some books laying in the
What, you don't
floor.
have just random toothbrushes
No,
on the floor?
no, that doesn't happen. It's just usually they're on the counter. Um, so uh, each car has a special ability. I think there's 7 to choose from. And you are going to program your actions. You're going to program your 8 actions that you will take on your turn using this really cool controller. Take a look at this cool thing. It's one of those, like, where you're unscrambling a puzzle,
Yeah.
except you can take any of those 15 actions, whatever ends up in the middle 2 stripes, and it's actually the shape of a remote control little controller device.
It is a sliding puzzle.
It's so cute. Look at this thing. I think that is somewhat ingenious. So, take this away without messing up the green screen. Wow, come to me. So, whoosh. I'm getting it. Never fear. I had to turn it a little bit. Anyway, you program your movement. If you start on carpet, you're going to go a much more regular speed. If you hit the water, you're going to skid the opposite way of what you think. And basically just trying to get to the end first. Steph was behind the whole game. It's got a catch-up mechanism where she gets fed power tokens so that whenever you hit an obstacle, you don't lose power, you lose the power token, which makes it so you don't run out of power. And you ended up one step ahead of me. Hey, thanks for following, Takatane D.
Thanks for following.
Takatown. Taka.
I do like the side puzzle.
It's cute.
And I do like the side puzzle for purposes of programming. I just wish it wasn't for that. Like
Right.
I don't know like how else you can use that little mechanic, but I do like that mechanic. I do think it's interesting.
And it is timed in which if you are the last player in a group, whether it's 2 or 4 players, if you're the last player, you are going to lose some battery power for being the slowest to finish. You basically got 10 seconds after after everyone else has gone. Everyone's going to start counting the 10-second countdown timer for you to furiously unscramble this thing. Steph was like, I had a general plan of where my car was going to go. She had everything mapped out, going up one, jumping over this obstacle, going to the side of this thing, and I'm like, man, you were good. And
I learned from the first round where I was like, what
Right.
am I doing? Oh, and then you had your first round all planned out. And I was like, how did you even do that? But then I'm like, okay, I really need to focus on the first 4 actions and what I want to do.
and you did such a good job.
Then I'll get the rest of it. So yeah, it's just a matter of trying to plan the best you can and doing it quickly.
Yeah. So there are actually several expansions that come with this. Our copy comes with 4. They're called elemental maps. I think they just put other elements in the room. I think that there's an expansion that puts counters, so it sort of randomizes the obstacles that are in the way on your map. Obviously, it makes the hallway get a little narrow in one spot, so you knock off the edges a little bit of the hallway. There are power cards that come in one expansion. There's 3 extra cars with abilities in one of the expansions. They come in these little
There's a whole bunch of
small
stuff.
like this is called the Fantasy Squad expansion.
So there's more characters you can play.
Yeah. So there's like 3 of those expansions. So lots of replayability. It's so cool. Anyway,
They're so cute.
they're so cute.
So yeah.
But ultimately, if Steph's not going to enjoy Tiny Turbo Cars, and it was interesting, but not enough to be a keeper for me, like something like Formula Day / Formula D. Then it was a fun play. I do not regret playing it one bit. It's one of the better games we've played this month, to be honest. So
there you go.
There you go. That is our list of games that we will not play on stream. SNN Japanese edition.
Yeah.
And we've got some that we have not played yet.
That won't be streamed.
That definitely won't be streamed because
they're like 3 or player or better.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
there'll be another
even if they're good, because they're 3 player. We do have a couple of them that we played that we are going to stream.
Yep, we're going to stream some now.
We can stream some today. So, if you have not followed us on Twitch, be sure to do so. Check us out on twitch.tv/BoardGamerSteph, where we stream every Wednesday and Sunday night at 5 p.m. Central. And we have streams like this. And usually we will play 3 games per night with full teach and playthroughs of a lot of these games that most people haven't even heard of. So
there we go.
If you have not followed, be sure to do so. And if you can't catch us on Twitch, catch us on YouTube or check out all of our videos on the fantastic Board Game Geek, otherwise known as Camp BGG, right? Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that one.
And for those of you on Twitch, we will be
right back.